Hi, I'm Jess Graham. Welcome to my YouTube channel and to the Wild Awakening Collective. I wanted to go over a few obstacles to meditation. They're not actually obstacles, but they're the things that come up for people when they're first starting their practice. First one, I can't quiet my mind. You do not have to have a quiet mind to meditate. It's a myth, and it keeps so many people from practicing. It kept me from getting really into meditation for a while too. A quiet mind can be lovely, but you can actually meditate on the thoughts. They can be your object of focus, the same way you might meditate on your breath or a candle flame. I have a whole series called Mindfulness of Mind that can go into how to do that. But having a lot of thoughts is not actually an obstacle. We all have thoughts. Our minds create thoughts like our liver creates enzymes. It does what it's supposed to do. It's just that we tend to be a little anxious and stressed out as human beings and a little worried. And we tend to like to play things over and over and over again. Plan. Memory, should have said this, should have done that. Or even just like listing out our like grocery list or something. So our minds do that, and it's just part of having a mind. I will say that after a while, after some time practicing, your mind does settle down. It's almost like oh, you're not really listening to me anymore. And it just kind of settles. And then when the mind does get active, it becomes really obvious. But that's not the point. Just want to be very clear. We're not here trying to stop our thoughts. There are practices that do that, but it's not generally what I teach. And we need our minds to function in the world. So our thoughts aren't necessarily a bad thing. Another obstacle is sleepiness. People get very sleepy when they meditate, especially when they're first starting. So here's a couple tips if you are getting sleepy. Number one, sit up straight or stand. The long spine, using those muscles to sit, is going to help keep you alert and awake. Because when you're sleeping, those muscles relax. And you'll even notice if you're sitting perhaps like this, you might notice as you get sleepy, things just start to slump. And then you're like, I fell asleep. And that's a very normal thing, especially in the beginning, or when you're doing long retreats for the first time, or even like the 25th time, it can still happen, especially in the first couple days. So sitting up straight, sitting up tall, still relaxed, but a nice long spine. Or standing, nice long spine. That can be very helpful. Another thing is open your eyes. You can meditate with your eyes open. You can do pretty much any practice that I would teach with your eyes open if you want to. Another thing, and I do this on retreat when I get sleepy, is open your eyes and find some light. It could even be a dark room and there's just like one little light or candle. Here I have some sunshine coming in. So if I focus in on that sunshine, there's kind of automatically a sort of a wakefulness that comes in. Right? I guess my circadian rhythm or something, I don't know, but it wakes me up. And so even an artificial light can do that for you when you're feeling sleepy during meditation. Another thing is get up, splash your face with water, and come back. And finally, it might just be that you're sleepy. It might just be that you need rest. Most of us are like chronically underslept or just not getting the best sleep these days. So perhaps it's time for a nap or time to go to bed, and that's okay. Your sleep and your health related to your sleep is more important than sitting in your meditation until the timer goes off. Over time, you will develop the skill of staying awake and alert while you're practicing, but it's always okay to go to sleep if you're tired. Another obstacle that comes in for folks is that they don't want to do it because it's like religious or spiritual. And yes, it can absolutely be religious and spiritual if you want it to be. Every major religion has a contemplative aspect to it. And spiritual life, spirituality, I don't know. I'm trying to talk. This is the channel of a neurodivergent person who is an actor, but I'm also like not always the best at making these videos, so bear with me, please. Thank you. So spirituality can feel activating to some, especially if you've had any kind of like spiritual or religious trauma. Or maybe you're just like a staunch atheist. There's a bug. A staunch atheist. And if that's the case, that doesn't mean you can't meditate. It doesn't have to be about some sort of higher power or divine, being. It can be. For me, it often is in a variety of ways. But your religion or lack thereof doesn't need to keep you from a meditation practice. And if you are one of those folks who thinks that meditating will connect you to the gates of hell and demons and devils, I will just say that I personally don't believe that to be true. And I would invite you to explore and see how it feels for you before deciding on that. Finally, time. People say, I don't have time to meditate. And I get that, but we do have time. How often are we scrolling on our phone, watching the third episode of a show we're binging? For me, just like kind of loitering around my house, just like kind of doing nothing. We have time. It's just a matter of prioritizing and carving it out. And really, even just 12 minutes a day, there's been studies that have shown that that will have benefits. But even if you can't do 12, do 1, do 2, do 5. Anytime you get still and you're with yourself and you explore your consciousness and you bring in relaxation, or you focus on pleasure, or you work through some challenging emotions, you are maturing and developing as a human being. And we need that. So prioritize it. The last thing I'll say is that, well, I can't remember what it is. I had one more. I think we can probably like cut into it, right? Yeah. let me think, what is it? There's one more thing I wanted to say. It was, one more thing I'll mention, and this is personal, pain. There's pain sometimes involved in meditation because sitting can just be uncomfortable. And if you're already experiencing chronic pain, like me, you may be like, nope, not gonna do that. So keep in mind, you can add in whatever props, supports, and accommodations you need, right? There's a posture video on the channel that you can check out, which will give you more information on that. But you can lie down, you can use a bunch of different cushions and pillows. There have been times where I had a chair that people use when they're nursing a baby that was like just so cushioned, and I used to meditate in that because I had so much physical pain in my body and I just needed like full cushioning. So do what works for you and know that whatever your body is doing, there is a way to practice that will work for you. Thanks for being here. I see you and I love you.